Hi everybody, Rich Gaines here with Business Growth by Design. Here's your Rich tip for Tuesday. This is a big win that I just had and I want to share a little bit about it. A few years back, a CPA came to me and he said that when a person gets a 1099, the IRS is treating them as an independent contractor as if they own their own business. And I thought to myself, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because there are people that have hobbies, there are people that only do occasional work. And as a tax lawyer, I look at the law. I think about what the interpretation is. I don't care what an employer puts on a form and how the IRS treats it. What I care about is what the law says. I went back, I looked at some of the research, and sure enough, I thought, well, just because you get a 1099 doesn't mean you are a business. It's kind of like in the movie A Few Good Men, when Tom Cruise said, "It's not what I know, it's what I can prove." And what I can prove is based upon the law. A few years ago, my son was working for DoorDash. He was living at home, and it was literally just a few dollars here and there, very, very short time work. Well, sure enough, DoorDash gave him a 1099 as a non-employee compensation, and I filed his return as if this was other income. Now, the reason this is important is because if you are treated as an independent contractor, you have to pay self-employment taxes, which is about a 15% tax on any net profit. The 1099, so he received this 1099 and I reported it as other income. Other income means you do not have to pay the self-employment tax. Well, sure enough, a couple of years later, the IRS said, oh, we got this 1099 and he reported it incorrectly. He should have paid some self-employment tax. I wrote back, I said, no, this is incorrect. He's not a business, he doesn't have a website, he doesn't have business cards, he doesn't have all the things that the IRS typically looks at when you are an independent contractor. They sent me back a response to that saying, well, generally, people are treated as independent contractors. You can take expenses for your business. I wrote back, I said, this is not applicable. The statement that was in the letter was a general statement which did not apply to him. This was not a situation where he was operating as a business. Now, the IRS wants it both ways in this case as well. They want to say, oh, you're a business, so pay self-employment tax. But on the other hand, if you don't have support for expenses, if you treated yourself as a business and you wanted to take all these expenses, then they would disallow the expenses because you wouldn't be able to prove it. Well, my kid's not going to have any expenses relating to DoorDash. He's not tracking his mileage, all these other things that would be necessary. In addition, I thought to myself, well, what if he was misclassified as an independent contractor? And this is something that I had put in my response letters. If he was misclassified, then that means DoorDash should have treated him as an employee, which means they would have taken out money from his Social Security, Medicare tax, and they would have had to have paid a matching set of numbers, Social Security and Medicare tax, the same amount. What I did was I submitted a response and I filed a form for the misclassification as an independent contractor, that he should have been an employee. And I submitted some money as if he had paid his own Social Security tax and Medicare tax. So I gave to the IRS some of the money that they would have gotten for those items had he been properly classified as an employee. Well, I have to say this was a huge win because the IRS agreed with me. They said he was misclassified. They accepted the amount that I gave him. And my interpretation that just because this 1099 said he was a non-employee compensation treated as an independent contractor doesn't mean that was actually the case. I was ecstatic to receive this, and more importantly for you, what this means is that we're using the tax law, we're using the details and the nuances and my knowledge and what I know in terms of the law and how to interpret those laws for your best benefit. Thanks for listening. This is the Rich Tip for today. If you have any questions or would like to reach out to me, we have tax season is, the extensions are coming up in September and October. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about your business, about any tax questions you might have, and any tax planning that's coming up for the middle of the year this year. You can reach me at rich@businessgrowthbydesign.com. That's rich@businessgrowthbydesign.com. Or you can call me at 760-579-0079. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.